Our film starred teenage actors and characters. After extensive research into the slasher genre, we found that the majority of the main characters are teenagers. We decided to use this for our film opening, also using stereotypes for most of our characters, which again is an accurate representation of this genre. We had two Scream Queens in our movie opening. The first Scream Queen was the girl in the film within the film who was a stereotype. We represented this with her costume, as she wore revealing, figure-hugging clothes, and she also had blonde hair and wore makeup. We use specific shots to make the character look vulnerable, such as when she screams we use a high-angle shot, looking down on her to signify her weakness and vulnerability. We also used a long shot for when the Scream Queen is running away from the killer, where she looks very small in the distance and the character of the killer filled a large proportion of the screen. This again signifies the Scream Queen's weakness and is a stereotypical convention of the teenage girl Scream Queen, as they are often represented as weak, vulnerable, stupid, and naive. The second and main Scream Queen was also a stereotype. She had a revealing costume on which was also pink, which shows that the girl is still young and therefore naive. We reinforced this by having a pink bedroom with pink bedding that we chose specifically for the setting. We also cast a girl with long blonde hair, as this is a stereotype of a teenage girl, and blonde hair is often linked to being dumb and ditzy. The Scream Queen's boyfriend in our film opening is also represented as a stereotype. Although not much is revealed about him, we can still see that he's wearing typical teenage boy clothing. We did this so that the couple would seem like the average couple of a cheerleader and a jock stereotype, which is typically seen in the horror genre. The first killer in the film within a film was also a stereotype. His costume was completely black, including balaclava-style mask. The darkness of the outfit contrasts to the blonde hair of the first Scream Queen, showing them subconsciously as binary opposites of good versus evil. We chose specific shots such as very closed crop sections, which makes the audience uncomfortable, as also we have used a low-angle shot as the killer swings his hammer. The camera looks up at him, making him look powerful. We used a specific jingle of music when he appeared to make the audience recognise the killer. We also chose to cast a male for the killer character, as this can signify a more physically intimidating figure, and is also stereotypical of a slasher film, as it is very rare that we see a female character for the killer. Despite the majority of the conventions we used being very stereotypical of a slasher film, we decided to have the killer use a hammer rather than a knife to murder the girl. We thought this would make him stand out from other killers and give a more postmodern twist to the opening. The second killer in our film opening was again a stereotype. However, he was more a stereotype to the slasher genre rather than the generic horror which the previous killer could be applied to. This is because the killer wears an old mask and is seen as mentally deranged. He uses a knife to kill the boyfriend, which is stereotypical of the genre and can particularly link back to Scream, as they also use a knife to murder the boyfriend Steve. It is also adapted from Psycho, as the killer draws back the knife and stabs several times, with a non-diegetic sound effect playing over the top, as seen in Psycho. Overall, our movie opening was very stereotypical of the genre. We thought sticking to stereotypes was a good idea because it followed a strict line with regards to how the characters acted and what they were like. This made it easy for us because we had lots of examples to draw ideas and notes from.